Okay. All right. I was not expecting it to be that good. All right, you guys. I just recently got back from an early access screening of the best Christmas pageant ever. I remember this book when I was in school, like elementary, early middle school. I believe I even had a copy of it. I don't know if I still do, but I think I read it. I remember that it was about this little small town and they had this Christmas pageant, and the town nuisances, basically the Herdman family children, decided that they wanted to join in on the Christmas pageant that year and just threw everything into chaos. I know that it has been made into movies, at least one or more movies before this latest one that's coming out next week. I think November 8th is the release date for it. And this one stars Judy Greer, and it was directed by Dallas Jenkins, who, from what I understand, has done a really popular Christian web series, or I think it comes to theaters now, called The Chosen. I've not watched it. I'm not really big on faith-based movies and stuff, because a lot of times they just don't seem to do it very well. Every once in a while they can, but a lot of times it just doesn't, like the messaging feels a little bit ham-fisted and sappy, and it just doesn't work for me. But this one was the exception, honestly. I mean, this is faith-based because it revolves around this Christmas pageant, but it works for me because it wasn't something that felt overly sappy, and it didn't feel really ham-fisted with the narrative. Like the way the actors played it, it worked, and it was something that I felt was genuine. Also, I didn't remember this from my reading of the book. Like I said, I really don't remember much from the book, like the specifics, except just this overall summary that I gave you already. But I didn't realize, unless this is stuff that's been added for the movie, I did not realize how sad the underpinnings of this story are. The Herdman children, I remembered that they were just awful, and now this book was written in the 70s, so I felt like a lot of the, the bullying stuff that went on with the kids. I mean, obviously they were little tailholes. They were just terrible little kids, and the townsfolk were scared of them, and they bullied everybody, and, even the adults were scared, all that stuff. The way it's presented in this movie, now this movie takes place in the 70s. So it's kind of funny because I liked the feel of the movie. I liked the little small town environment and seeing the station wagons being driven down the road. Wow, I remember those. And it just, like, it's kind of a warm fuzzy type of movie. The acting in here I felt was really good. At first I wasn't sure about the kids who played the children. Now I think these are pretty new actors. I looked up the cast list, and none of them have like a wiki page or anything like that. So I don't know if these kids have been in anything else. But at first I wasn't too sure, because at first, you're being introduced to the kids and they're very over the top with the way they act, because they are just absolute hellions. I mean, these kids, oh my gosh. But the way it's shown and presented, since this was a story from the 70s, while you can see the awfulness of these kids, the bullying by comparison to some stories that, like, let's say maybe takes place today, or some stories that have a much darker edge to them, the bullying is a bit, I almost want to say lighthearted. Not really, because I'm pretty sure all of us have had experiences or have witnessed people in school, bullying, and it's not lighthearted when you're in it. And so it's hard to put into words what I'm trying to say, but maybe when you watch it, you'll know what I mean. But I'm going to try to get back around to what I started saying. I forgot how fundamentally, or I didn't realize how sad this actually is, because as you're watching this movie, the Herdman children, you realize that they are the way they are because they basically have no parents. Their parents are non-existent. Their mother is either she's never around, never like around or awake during the day. So you just know that their home life is not great. And the oldest of the children, I think her name was Imogene, she's basically the mother of all of them. And they're all young. I mean, Imogene is probably like a middle schooler, and they just, I think, I don't remember if she hasn't, oh yeah, I think she's the oldest one because she's like the boss. And there's a reference that she makes in there about how she had to take care of her baby sister when her baby sister was an infant. So you know that that to me, that was very sad to me. And I wasn't expecting that. And I was not expecting this film to elicit some teary eyes, let me tell you, and some heartstrings and grabbing of the throat. Because there were some moments that were they were heartwarming, but at the same time very sad, just because you're thinking about the situation with the children. So it hit all those notes effectively. And I appreciated the ultimate positive messaging that came from it. And I think that if you're a fan of the book, or if you're a fan of the previous movies, I don't know how this compares to those movies. And like I said, I'm not sure if anything. It's been so long since I read the book, I honestly don't remember. I know it was a book geared towards the younger audience, so it's not like it's going to have this really intense level of depth to it or seriousness to it. So I think that's why I was surprised that this had the moments of there were these moments of levity, and it was cute and it was funny in different parts, but also in contrast to that, there were these moments of sadness. And it was not anything that was just soul crushing, but it was definitely, I don't know what it was, but this movie clicked with me in all the right ways. This is not a film I would have chosen to see on my own, but the early access screener was this invitation that I was like, let me just go ahead and go see it. What else am I going to do on Saturday evening? So yeah, I'm glad I was able to check this out, because I probably would not have gone to see it otherwise. So this is me having seen it a little bit ahead of time, saying that if this is the type of film that you like, I do recommend it. I felt like it was very well done. I liked the messaging in here. You know, it touches on themes of Christianity and the meaning of Christianity, and showing you people that were demonstrating the opposite of that while they're churchgoers, acting like they believe in that, but like not necessarily showing that in their life the way it should be represented. You'll know what I mean when you see it. But it also didn't feel like it was something that was so over the top with it that you couldn't enjoy it. I appreciated the interesting balancing act that this movie had with the lighter side and the deeper themes. It captured it well. And I liked it enough that I wanted to talk about it with you guys and give it my recommendation. If this is not your thing, you know, I get it. But if this is something that you'd be open to checking out, I do give it my thumbs up. It's a good family movie. It's a good Christmas holiday movie. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about the best Christmas pageant ever. If you check it out, let me know what you think. Let me know how it compares to the book, because I'm not going to read the book again, and I'm probably not going to watch those other movies. Like I said, I really have no basis of comparison for this particular one. I just know I liked it, and that's that. All right, you guys, see you in the next video. Nos vemos.